Hey team, it's Andy Seeley here with Creatively Disruptive, and I wanted to just talk a little bit about a quote. And here's my little feedback on quotes of the day. So on, I think it was Saturday, we had a quote in the group, and the quote went basically like this: even when you are marketing to your entire audience, so everybody that you're talking to, of your customer base, you are still simply speaking to a single human at any given time, right? So that is the quote. So even when you're marketing to your entire audience or customer database, you are still talking to just one person, one human at any single time. So what does that mean? So basically what that means is your ads are served up, especially online, individually, right? So on my phone, if you're selling a widget and I get your ad on my phone, your audience is me, right? I'm looking at it and I'm checking it out and I'm like looking at it. It's not a huge amount of people. And that ad needs to speak to me. It needs to be relevant to me. It needs to resonate for me to actually make me do something. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do as marketers and advertisers and business owners trying to sell our products and services, definitely in the gymnastics industry. So think of it this way: when you're putting out your messaging, when you're putting out your communication, when you're putting out your branding, when you're putting out your ads and marketing and everything else, be thinking about a single mom reading it and what the reaction you want her to have and what's important to her, and how whatever you're saying to her is relevant to her to a degree that she'll actually take some action from it. So always be thinking, I'm not going to get this out to everybody, so I've got to like make sure that everybody's happy, because there's no such thing as keeping everybody happy. What is really important is that you keep your message directly to the people that you're trying to reach, that you want to engage with you, right? So there's an element of, this is where I would say actually online marketing works best, is it's able to target exactly the audience that you want to, with the data that we have out there now, we know exactly who we're trying to reach, and really, quite frankly, what's most important to them. There's a thing with the Facebook algorithm. I don't know if many of you know about this, that the Facebook algorithm knows about 270 points of interest on us if we use Facebook regularly. So, if you use Facebook once or twice a week or more, Facebook has enough data that they know 270 points of interest about you, which basically means that they know more about you than your mother does. They probably know more about you than you do. It's so much information that they can actually somewhat accurately predict what you're going to do in the future. It's kind of scary. This is why everyone gets a bit freaked out when they start thinking about Facebook and Google and the online platforms and the way they operate and how ads seem to turn up, and you're like, man, I was just talking about it. How did they know about it? Well, you were probably doing something, you commented on something, you went to a website, you did something, or they just know that because of all the different things that you've interacted with in the past, that your interest is going to be here, and someone has targeted people that have an interest in that area. So what that means, coming back to the quote, is when we're crafting our messages, when we're crafting what we're trying to say to people, that we want to be thinking about that one individual mom who's going to pick it up on her phone and look at your ad, and what are we trying to get her to do? What is the reaction that we're hoping for her to have? And how do we want to have an intimate one-on-one communication where she feels that it's relevant to her, and maybe even more so connected to her, right? So when I'm talking to you guys one-on-one, if I'm sitting in a room and you're actually sitting with me, obviously with appropriate social distancing, of course, it's me talking to you, right? And there's some connection there. And that is really what makes a good marketing campaign over a bad marketing campaign. Bad marketing campaign just says, here's our products, here's our services, please buy it from us, right? As many people as possible. Great marketing campaign connects with the person that the ad is being made for, makes them feel something. Everything becomes about emotion. We make decisions on emotion. We justify it with facts. That's an important thing to think about. So with that, when you're making your ads, when you're doing it, just think this through. Imagine that there's a mum sitting in front of you. Imagine who she is and what's important to her, and then have a conversation with her so she can connect with you and connect with your brand. That's it. Talk to you soon. Take care.